And although my vision wasn't concrete and it wasn't written on paper, it was to have my face on the cover of a business magazine before the age of 30. But to boot, I also wanted to walk a red carpet for video production and multimedia, whatever it may be. So I wanted to do this before I was 30, but I was 28 and time was ticking. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? I walk into my boss's office, I'm like, hey, I'm quitting my job. He's like, really? I'm like, yes. Are you sure you know what you're doing? I'm like, yes. He's like, have you started a business before? I'm like, no. And he took me about half an hour to talk me off the ledge, and it didn't work. The reality was I started my business, and it was failing horribly. That's an office right there. That's an example of a classic business office with a big poster, success. It's tough to get there when you have no money, you have no tools, and your network is very small. All I had was a loving girlfriend right there. She's like, you need to make a wish. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll make a wish. What kind of wish? You need to focus on something, like figure out what you want. She was kind of tired of seeing me a little bit unhappy. I was like, okay, I want the keys to a mansion because I'm tired of working in this crappy office. I want someone to give me clear direction because I'm tired of second guessing what clients want. And I want someone to appreciate me from my skills, video production skills. And then this message came through about 2 weeks later. We sent that message off, and then this message came through, and it was, Jaeger, you need to enter the Live at YVR contest. You live in the airport for 80 days and 80 nights, eat, sleep, and breathe aviation. And I was like, I can't do it. I got a business to take care of. And I'm like, my business sucks. I gotta focus on this contest. But in order to do this contest, because I was looking at the competition and it was intense, there was like 300 entries and some of them were amazing. They were doing better videos than I could even produce. So, fashion designers, I created my own brand. This is kind of before the whole hipster Hawaiian shirt movement. I went through my closet and I got a couple Hawaiian shirts. I'm gonna throw them on. I'm gonna be a tacky tourist. So there it is. I got my brand. And it's cheesy, right? Would you guys say it's cheesy? A little bit, yeah. Anyways, that was me. That was gonna set me apart from the rest of them. But the key element is I had to produce a 1-minute video. And when there was videos that were way better than I could even produce, and I'm a producer technically, I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I have to look at what YVR's vision is, what their mission is, and how to relate my video to that in my own words. They're all about their people. So I focused my whole campaign on what makes YVR #1. It's the people. And they loved it. They shortlisted me to the final 5, just based on that. So cheesy brand and focused video, I've basically been a finalist. It was good, but there were some pretty good finalists though. Like the people, the talent was awesome. And I was like, how can I set myself apart? So I'm putting on my marketing hat again. I don't want to go back to that office. Trust me, it was scary. And so I went to my community. Just like you, I went to my community and I said to them, guys, look, this is my predicament. I don't want to go back to that office. I want to start this new live YVR campaign. I want to be out there. And they said, we'll help you. So we went to local news, local TV, local radio in my small town of Port Alberni and basically just launched the biggest presidential campaign you could ever imagine. It was ridiculous. Like I was like one step away from going to people's houses and kissing their babies, like literally. Like I was like, please vote for me. I was even Facebooking friends directly. Problem is, I was getting a lot of haters too. I was getting some Simon Cowell style haters. And when you put yourself out there and people are saying, that guy's a poser, that guy's a loser, he's cheesy, he's, like I could go on and on. It's like, oh, do I really want to go on with this? And how much business am I going to get after this if I fail? But one morning I woke up with this crazy dream. It was the closest I've ever been to being psychic. I felt myself win. And this was about a week before the final votes were, like the deadline of votes. And I was like, I felt myself win. So I'm going to go out and give it all I can. So I left Port Alberni, came to Vancouver, and I just did this huge campaign again with breakfast television, with CTV, with whoever I could possibly get on board, and ended up winning. And that's me right there, winning. I won the contest at YVR. There's 300 people around me, all cheering me on, cameras in my face, and that sensation is overwhelming, and it's also one of the coolest things in the world to have that like level of just like stature. It's ego. It's a little egotistical, but what can I say? The reality was I didn't win yet. There was still 80 more days to go. Like, we haven't even touched the 80 days thing yet. So I have to live in the airport. I can't get out of the confines of the airport. And if I pass through the whole 80 days, I get $15,000. And I'm just praying to the videography gods out there that I have a job afterwards with another company or something, or I get more clients. So I just focused. I was determined. My work hours were from 5 in the morning till 12 at night, producing videos, editing, getting stories, talking to the media, and I pulled through. The outcome was 250 million media impressions. I don't know how many fans on the Facebook page. It launched YVR into a whole new realm of social media. So North America's #1 airport is now launched into this whole new realm. And people were happy. Everybody was happy. And me, I was pretty sad because I had to leave the airport. I got kicked out of the airport, really. But in the end, and right now, I guess if you look at my life now, I still go back to that cold office every once in a while. I still wonder, okay, did I make the right decision there? But whenever I find that mental mind block or I get depressed, I look back at that time where I was like, oh my God, this was a chance where I've pulled through, I made a decision, stuck with it, and then dedicated my life to it and actually made a big difference for me, for my community, for YVR, and that's really it. You know, I can't say anything more than what we've talked about today, but just if you have that little vision, go for it and just keep on working towards it. So thank you very much, everybody.